Hello, how are you? And I guess today is February 14th. So happy Valentine's Day. If you are celebrating Valentine's Day, hopefully somebody does something really nice to you today and takes you out for dinner and tells you that they love you and how important you are for them in their lives. Thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are subscribed on this channel, thank you for being here and thank you for your love and support. And if you are not subscribed, feel free to do so. And also, I usually completely forget to say this, but please do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It helps other people see it. So I don't really have any sort of script. I just wanted to touch base with everyone, and I've decided to title this video, "If You're Going Through Hell, Welcome to the Club." I don't know why, but I feel that a lot of us right now are struggling. Today pretty much was the epitome of the down point for me when I woke up in the morning. There is a significant amount of energy that is, I don't want to say negative, but very low vibrational. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, and I believe the fear is, many of us are sensing it from the collective. If you are a person who watches the news, if you are a person who is on social media, it's really hard not to engage the massive collective energy of fear, confusion, as well as anger that is going around. Seems we are living in very, very interesting times. But I wanted to touch base and tell you that you're not alone, and to pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your emotions. If there's ever a reason for me to come on here, it will always be to remind you that you are not your thoughts and that you are not your emotions, and to please not feed any toxic thoughts, and to please not act on any toxic emotions. Learn to become the observer. So for me today, what happened was I woke up in the morning and I literally was drenched in fear to the point that I began to sweat and hyperventilate. And when you wake up in the morning, sort of your brain comes online, and all the thoughts just start. It's like restarting something, and you get all the messages and you have to click on them and shut it down. And I don't know about you, but when I start my computer, there's like 50,000 notifications that you have to okay. You don't necessarily have to get engaged with each thought or with each emotion, but I would highly recommend that you be aware of them. So I woke up. For a little bit, I did engage. I cried even, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to cry. Crying is a good emotional release as long as you know that that is why you are crying. You're not crying out of victimhood. You are not crying because life hates you and it's treating you horribly and you have no luck in this life and it's all going to end and blah, 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 blah. That's not why you're crying. You're crying to release the negative buildup of energy that it doesn't matter where it came from. It could have been something from the collective. It could be a pattern that is emerging. It could be something that you absorbed from your last conversation or meeting or whatever it is that happened. The most important thing is to realize that you are not your thoughts and you are not your emotions. So sit down, cry, and wish that energy well. I always do this in order to remind myself that I am not my emotions, and not to get lost in your sorrow and in your tears, is to just say, I release this energy back to wherever it is it came from. Thank you for bringing me to this point, because this energy at some point guided you. It was protecting you. Even if you don't understand what that means, wish that energy well. Do not judge it. It being the emotion. Don't judge the emotion, because that will activate a guilt within you that you're not allowed to feel. And this evolution that we're going through is all about feelings. All about feelings. The other thing is the toxic thoughts. Don't keep feeding them. So for me right now, it's a personal thing that I'm going through with legal stuff, as well as finances. So instead of sitting down and engaging in this endless stream of thought, oh my God, I have this bill to pay. Oh my God, what's going to happen? I have my next court date. Oh, I don't know where my next paycheck is going to come. Oh my God, I'm out of work. Instead of doing all of this, once again, I'm here to remind you and myself to be the observer. Put yourself and your awareness behind all of these thoughts and behind all of these fears. Almost observe yourself as if there was a person that I was following, and he would always compare that we are in a video game. So you are the person holding the controllers and playing this video game. How do you want your character right now to behave? Do you want your character right now to have a complete mental and nervous breakdown? Who will that help? Who will that serve? And what will it fix? It won't fix anything. So that's also a very good way, I guess, if you're into, comparing. You're playing yourself. If you understand spirituality, you will understand that nothing is a coincidence, as much as this phrase triggers people. It used to trigger me, but it does trigger people, especially people who are unconscious and stuck in their egos. You have to realize that everything that is happening to you is actually happening for you. And the person, or I guess it's your higher self, that is presenting you with all these challenges, with all these levels that you're going through in your life, because your higher self is trying to guide you to it. Let's say you had a big fight with your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or someone that you love, a family member, a coworker. Instead of feeding the anger and the energy and the toxicity of the situation that happened, then hopefully you weren't in it for too long, and that you immediately realize that there's something here that you need to remove yourself from. You should look at the situation or this person who triggered you or upset you, or the words that were spoken, and say, what is the lesson here for me? What is my higher self trying to show me through the events that I just went through? Very difficult to do, especially if you're emotionally involved in the situation, but start practicing. It is never, ever too late. As you practice this, put sticky notes. I have sticky notes on my fridge, literally on my fridge. When I was crying this morning, I looked at the fridge and it said, why is this happening to me? What is the lesson here that I'm supposed to learn? So it reminded me to avoid the victimhood, to not get absorbed completely in the emotions, especially if they are negative ones, and to take a step back and become the observer, because you are the creator of your own reality. Okay, I feel like I talked a lot, but this really needed to be said, and I realize I bring examples about myself and my own personal life, but that's all I have to give you examples about. I also would like to remind you that whatever is presenting itself outside of you, whatever you are experiencing in your personal world, or your social world, or your work, or your love, or your family, or whatever, is usually a reflection of something that is going on inside of you. A pattern, a story, perhaps, something that you are repeating, something that you have become in habit of saying to yourself, of doing, of applying, of thinking of, that doesn't necessarily belong to you. Look back at the situation, sit down and engage your feelings. Where does this situation originate from? What is it reflecting? What energy is calling to you to let it out, essentially? Let it out. There's a pattern that a lot of us are playing, and a lot of these patterns are surfacing for us right now in the external reality that we are witnessing. Pay attention. Don't judge the situation. Don't judge yourself, but rather become the observer, the person that's playing the video game that is your life. That is the character that is you. Okay, I think that's it. I hope this video makes sense. I will try to edit it so that the rambling is short, but thank you for your love and thank you for your support. And I'm going to link my Patreon in the description. I'm having a lot of people come in and asking for readings. So if you wish for one, if you feel like it might help you, you are most welcome. Thank you.